All right, guys, Automedic Garage back today. And for those of you who watch the channel regularly, realize that we always have an issue with getting trucks that do not run that get dropped off here by tow trucks in the shop. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a system that eliminates dragging them in here with four-wheelers and side-by-sides and trying to slingshot them in here with a truck and everything else, especially on days like today. It's cold, it's wet, it's muddy. It's a pain in the butt to get a truck in here in the shop every time we turn around. So I'm gonna come up with a system, and one of my subscribers brought this up to me and I had already thought of it, and I said, well, it's time to go on and just take the time and do this because it's gonna save me time, which in turn saves me money, makes more money for me working here at the shop because I can get a truck in here easier instead of spending 45 minutes or an hour moving something around to get it in the shop to work on it. So let me show you what we got going on here. So this is a Badlands winch that was on the front of Miss Automedic's Excursion when we got it. And I took it off and I sold the push bar. I kind of wish I had now because Lee would like to put that on his truck. But anyways, we got a perfectly good working 12,000 pound winch here with a fair lead and a cable that's in good shape. I always have an extra battery sitting around the shop here all the time. So we're gonna take this winch, I'm gonna make a plate to bolt it to the floor with concrete anchors. I'm gonna weld me a receiver hitch to it. O'Reilly's is bringing me the square tube adapter, like what you put inside of a receiver hitch to go from the bigger down to just the regular 2-inch side. So I'm gonna weld that to the plate, bolt that to the floor with concrete anchors, weld that receiver hitch to this winch plate. And the whole idea here is I'm not gonna have a winch that's only just stuck to the floor in the shop. If I need to go stick it in a receiver hitch of another truck, or I have a truck that's facing the opposite direction, whatever, I could go stick this winch on the back of it if I wanted to and let it pull itself in the shop, or go put it on the front of my tractor, whatever. So many more possibilities to do with it that way, so I didn't want it just stuck here in the shop. So this is our two primary bays that we use for the most part. So what I'm gonna do is mount this winch on the floor, right here, basically dead center of the lift, right here on the back wall. So these toolboxes are gonna go away. That's a whole different video, but I think the toolbox that's gonna take the place of these may have enough room to clear that on the floor. I'm not sure. Either that, or I may have to try to maybe relocate that controller box on the top and it would probably go over it. But even if not, I can just have that bolt to the floor. I could roll the toolbox out of the way, slide it in the receiver hitch, go hook it to a truck and pull a truck in the shop. So you may be asking, well, what are you gonna do if you want to pull a truck in this side? Well, I have an additional fair lead that I have sitting around, I think from when I wrecked my other truck, that's still in good enough shape. So what I thought I would do is figure out how to mount that fair lead somewhere on the base of this lift down there where it's really stout, mounted to the floor, so that you could take the cable and let it run right along the edge of this lift arm or lift column here. And if it's on the fair lead, it would just slide and roll across it real easy. And then it's not gonna give you a direct straight line into this bay, but the cable will be running about like this. The main goal is if we can just get the truck on the concrete. Once you get them up here, you can push them by hand on the concrete, but there's a little bit of an incline coming in the shop, and usually they're further out there than just being right here by the door. So that would get the truck up here to the shop, even running at that angle, and it would work for that. And if it doesn't work good, like I think it's gonna do for that, then maybe we'll just come up with an additional mount to put up on this side, this bay, right dead center of this bay here, so then I could pull one up that way. So I've got 100 feet of cable on there. This shop is 42 feet deep, so I'm gonna eat up 42 feet worth of cable just getting to the edge of the concrete here, but that would still give me an additional 45 feet worth of cable I can use, not to mention if I hook a tow strap or something to the truck to give me an additional 20 feet or something like that, whatever. It's not gonna, we're overdoing it with a 12,000 pound winch because these trucks are just rolling. They're not dead weight stuck in the mud or something like that. We're not pulling them up a really steep incline or anything like that. So that should be more than sufficient to do what we have to do. And I'm really excited to get this done because I have a truck out there that was a theft recovery that somebody brought to me, that the ignition and everything's messed up in it and it won't run. And I'd like to get it in the shop by the end of the day. So if I can get this welded up and mounted to the floor, we'll be good to go. All right, so here is my thought process. Gonna weld that just like that. That gives me welding all the way around the edge at the bottom, welding in the hole where the ball used to go, and I can clean that edge up and weld up there. I don't see why that wouldn't be enough. I'm gonna do this first so that I can lay that on the floor, and then I can kind of see what height this receiver hitch is, because I think I'm gonna either have to weld this piece here first and set this on it, or I may have to go something thicker like this, and then set the square on it so that when that is welded to the winch, I don't have to be manhandling that thing and fix it where I can just slide it up in this receiver pretty easy like that and stick my bolt in it then. And then that's on the floor, and then it can either stay there or when I'm done with it, I can pull it right back out. But that's the idea. I'm gonna clean that up first and this up and do that weld first so that I can kind of test fit this and see what I need for clearance to be able to slide that in there. All right, so I didn't want a big gap right here after I welded this on since that's kind of curved. So I just took a piece of flat stock and kind of made me a spacer and welded that on there because I wanted it to be welded real well before I put it on here, so I'd be able to weld that seam down in here really good. So I'm gonna get that all welded up, squared up on here, and then I'll weld it up and we'll go from there. All right, got this all welded up. You can kind of see what I did to build it up here so that it would just simply, when this is sitting flat, so that it'll just slide right on and off, so I don't have to fight to get it in there. I even welded a little spacer right here on the bottom. Can't see it right now and it's too hot for me to pick up, so that this is sitting totally level and totally level with that, so it'll slide right on it. One more. All right, I'll bolt it down. Let's give this thing a try and see how easy it slides in there. Hopefully it does. Got a little tight on there, I don't know why. Oh, it's in there now. I wonder if that's my weld at the front. Maybe I need to hit that just a little bit. All right, try number 2. All right, I took my shim off the back, which now just means that when I put this in, I gotta pick up a little bit to get it started in there. I think that's it right there. There we go. So I'm pretty tired. It's dinner time, and we'll try this thing out first thing in the morning. Hey, Troy.
Hey.
How entertaining is it making fun of Gary while he's on the phone with Ford?
It's the best thing ever.
He's having a dispute with him about what they told him, how much a part was going to cost. And he's wanting to know if they have any snacks.
You told me it was this
He said,
price.
you told me.
Not, I think you said.
He's going to ask the delivery driver to come back and get his part because he's not happy with the price. Well, while Gary gripes at Ford on the phone, we're going to try this winch out. It's neatly mounted to the floor. Got my battery sitting back there on it. Got the battery charger going to run on a low amperage, keeping that battery hot so we don't drain it down. We're going to try to pull that poor old, what is that? Is that it's GMC in here. And we're going to try to put it in this bay. So here's my fair lead, and I cut everything off except for this one roller here. This hole was already drilled and tapped into the lift here. So we're just gonna roll with one bolt for now and see how this goes, see if I like the height off of the floor. Troy had a very good point. He said, think about your height on this because, granted out there it's gonna be pretty low because of the drop, but in here it'll be more like knee height. It's probably the average, and that's right there at it. Look at that knee. That's a good looking knee. So we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna try it out. It wouldn't roll up very good. No.
Here at Automedic, we got top quality parts. And
Do we need to hook something to it to pull it? Let's see if it'll just go out.
As you can see, the cable is real nice on there.
I didn't roll that. I think that's the way it was on the excursion when we got it. Cut me some slack.
Look side by side to it and pull it out.
This is gonna get replaced with a synthetic rope once we have this all worked out.
He says he's getting synthetic rope, but I
I'm
doubt
glad
it.
you're translating for me like I'm speaking in Spanish. You know, like what he said was,
I'm trying to tell everybody the truth about everything.
this is not like the warm one where it has a little tab that lines up.
And it's a cheaper winch, probably the problem.
Well, it's not an expensive one, that's for sure. Here, Troy, would you kindly?
It's probably good, ain't it? I think the slingshot method worked better than this, but Automatic Garage don't think so.
This would be great. I mean, this was just for trying it out with the cable, but I want to put the synthetic rope so we get rid of the dangers of a cable breaking or something. Because this, not only could this hurt somebody, this could really mess the shop up if it broke too.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part.
Well, I just mean, if this cable snapped today, it'd go through the damn Mini Cooper and probably through the garage door if it didn't. Yeah.
We could have hurt Troy too, but he's already handicapped.
So what do you think of the winch?
Worked real good.
I like it. I'm proud of it.
You need some tweaking.
We gotta get rid of the cable, and I don't know what to do about this roller thing. I think if we go to the synthetic rope, what I just kind of had a thought of is if I did a 2x4 block down the face of this with some kind of plastic face on it, because the nylon rope doesn't need a roller. That would give it something smooth and non-abrasive to slide across here, and it wouldn't be much friction on it either. And I think that would work for when we're pulling something in this bay. Hey, where y'all going?
You a smack?
What'd you get, Troy?
I got a toy.
I'm jealous. I like the old Rhino, but I'm still jealous.
I'm kind of partial.
What do you think, Gary? He went up to you even.
Yeah, you did. It's nice.
Been giving them free parts. And
Gary's gonna give us a tutorial on how to put a seat belt on.
let these out. Let these out.
Is it working good, Gary?
Real good.
We're on truck number 2 now. Got us a mat on the cable, just playing it safe. Like I said, it's gonna go away. We're gonna get some synthetic rope. Don't y'all sweat it. Come on, Bubba, push the skinny pedal. All right, guys, so I think the winch system is gonna be very handy for the shop. Just moving those 2 trucks saves a lot of time on moving stuff around in here. I know it could use some improvements. synthetic rope is going to be one of the main things to make it a lot safer in here as far as getting rid of that cable that could snap and hurt somebody. But anyways, that's just for trial basis right now. We're going to get the synthetic rope for it. I'm going to figure out a better system for going around the lift here for using this other bay, pulling that in. But just wanted to show y'all that if you are moving stuff in and out of your shop a lot and a lot of stuff is immobile, pretty good setup there. That Badlands winch is not extremely expensive, and you probably don't need anywhere near a 12,000 pound winch. I probably don't either, but I already had that. But anyways, just wanted to show y'all that, an improvement for the shop that's going to save me some time and eliminate a whole lot of troubles of getting stuff in here. Y'all go check out other videos. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. A whole lot of Power Stroke content on here. We got our Patreon also. If you've been watching this channel, it has helped you out on fixing your Power Stroke or your Ford or your Cummins. We'd appreciate it if you wanted to donate to that. Check us out at Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble, and we'll holler at y'all later.